Hello, everyone. Welcome to my next interview. I'm joined by Cjay, the support player for Spacestation Gaming. Welcome, Cjay. How are you doing today?
Uh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm cranking through the interviews, trying to get caught up with everyone before stage two. But before I talk about stage two, I want to ask you about the Hangzhou Major, because obviously you got that experience. You got to fly out there, boot camp in Korea before. How was the whole experience, the event for you?
Honestly, the event was really cool. I think the venue was like the best venue I've ever seen or played at personally. It reminded me of like the VCT ones, like the ones in Valorant, and it was like really fun to play on. But the boot camp, as Hunter probably has said multiple times, like we just showed up, voted, not voted, definitely not voted at all. We
Yes.
had like one or two scrims, and then we would just like go out for the night, have some fun. So I mean, it was a really fun experience, but maybe not very much on the gameplay and voting side. We didn't do much of it.
Yeah. And from what I hear, the VOD reviews were scarce at the time, but
Just non-existent. Not even scarce, just not non-existent.
it still sort of went okay. I mean, how did you feel? Because obviously you ended up with a bit of a weird bracket in terms of lose to Crazy Raccoon, beat Team CC, and then lose to once again. So, how do you look back at the event in terms of the games itself in sort of success, failure? Where is it on the scale?
I mean, in the scrims thing, that's where we were basically going even with like every single team, like the Korean teams, besides the Arc, we didn't scrim them, like even OA, like in our scrims. So honestly, I think we definitely could have beat OA. So maybe it is like a little bit of a failure, I guess. But yeah, I think if we did beat them and hit top four, I think that's where like I would consider it a success, as in for our team.
Obviously, one of the biggest success stories from the event was obviously Nightmare getting that, well, at the time called Nightmare, getting that win over Crazy Raccoon. How did you feel watching that? Because obviously, in many ways, it's good for the North American region that they get this result, but obviously, they're also a direct competitor as well. So, mixed feelings, or was it still just happy for NA?
I mean, I was happy for NA because yeah, obviously like NA can show that we can beat like teams such as Crazy Raccoon. But honestly, during the match we were warming up VP and like we were just like pausing but we were pausing the map so we could watch the game because what it was like during Route 66. So we're
Mm,
just like pausing and like turning around and watching. And then DC was really sad they got to play CR because who wants to play against Crazy Raccoons. So
well, yeah,
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
honestly, it's really good for NA, and we took more maps than Crazy Raccoon did in the grand finals. So, like, that's what I'm saying.
Just.
Just saying, we could BCR. Just give us one more chance.
For the arena itself, you talked about the spectacle. What's because this is probably the biggest arena you played at. What's the big difference playing in front of a crowd like that in an arena that size compared to just maybe some of the smaller lands you've been to, or even just playing like the regular season online?
I mean, it's definitely like the crowd. You could hear the crowd so much. Like, whenever we were playing the Korean team, I'm not the Korean, the Chinese teams, which was twice. Every single time Lenny would die or like someone would get first pick, like the crowd would go absolutely insane, and it was honestly so much fun playing against because I don't know, I just never experienced it before, and it was a lot of fun just hearing the crowd like cheer for their home team.
And then I wanted to ask you a little bit about roster changes. Not too much action really on the SSG side. Just, I guess, like a change of emergency sub with Squid coming in for Hawk. Is the expectation that he's going to kind of just serve that similar role where Squid's just going to be an emergency sub and not used all that much? Or is there any plans for maybe some sort of double flex down the line at some point?
Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any like experimentation coming with Squid. There might be like a double flex if that double flex ever becomes meta at some point,
Mm.
then we could like try him. But yeah, right now it's just like another like Hawk or like Jamal type situation where just like he'll be there if we absolutely need.
And I want to ask you because obviously the big move in North America is obviously Zero moving over to Team Liquid. Stage one, you got one over on Team Liquid. You sent him to the lower bracket where obviously they ended up losing out to Nightmare as well. How scary is Team Liquid now with the addition to Zero compared to Stage one?
I think Liquid is definitely gonna be a lot better. I feel Zero has more firepower, I guess, than like Knife, I would believe. But I don't think Zero has started scrimming with Liquid yet. I think he starts scrimming with them next week. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna play out. But I think Liquid is definitely gonna be like a lot better than last stage.
And I want to ask a bit, how's your preparation gone? Because it feels like for a lot of teams so far, it's almost been a bit of a slower start or a later start compared to normal stages. Have you had much chance to scrim yet?
I think we've scrimmed we've had like 4 blocks in total. That's just because every single team was at the collegiate line last weekend, so there weren't really a lot of teams to scrim. But yeah, we haven't really done much preparation. Time zones are still different. I'm at collegiate lands last weekend and this weekend, so we haven't scrimmed much, if at all, really.
Because you're heading out for this collegiate land this weekend as well, I think, as well as
Yes, I
the
am.
other North American players. How much does that add? Because I presume you've probably run into this problem before, right? Having to play OWCS matches from collegiate lands. How much does that affect your ability to sort of play and perform?
It honestly doesn't affect much. As long as I can get to like a PC cafe or a separate room, I should be fine and play as if I'm at like my normal setup. So yeah, it doesn't really affect me personally that much.
Obviously, as well, you've got a pretty tough opening set of fixtures as well. You've got your double game week immediately. You kick off the season against Team Liquid. Then you also have to play the New Look Nightmare as well. So, what are the expectations going into what could actually be quite an important week as far as regular season goes?
I'm gonna like pre-fire the cope here. I'm gonna say that I will be at a collegiate land, and my Koreans are both still in Korea on 200 ping. So if we do lose both games, which I doubt would happen, but if we do, that's the reason. No other reason at all. But honestly, with this, I think we'd still go 2-0. Especially if Liquid is still playing with Knife. I think we could still go 2-0, and the new look Nightmares, they probably look pretty good, but we haven't scrimmed them for obvious reasons. So yeah, I think we going based off last stage, a 2-0 is definitely reasonable.
Now you mention actually, this is actually kind of how stage 1 started, where you had a pretty big double game week, and all the cope was put out about the Koreans being on ping, and then it all seemed to work out then. So maybe history will repeat itself.
Hopefully.
I want to ask a little bit. I know you've not scrimmed much, but have you seen or played up against much Freja so far?
Yeah, Freya is the most broken character in the game, hands down. That character does way too much damage, and she does everything. Yeah, that character is just broken.
So expect to see a lot of her then.
Yes, a lot of Freya. Unless she is banned, she's gonna be played.
Outside of Freya, meta-wise, is it still quite similar to what we saw in Hangzhou when there's a lot of teams leaning into sort of Winston type stuff or bits of Hazard, or has it kind of moved on at all?
From the teams we've scrimmed, not really. It's been a lot of Hazard, like Hazard, Juno, Lucio, or like Kiri, Lucio, and then like Freya, Tracer. Not really a lot of Winston. I will say we might be playing Winston a little bit, not that much, but like yeah, we might be playing Winston a lot.
And I guess you're probably overall, quite happy with that, right? In terms of it was a successful meta for you previously. It fits a lot of your comfort heroes. You think that's fair?
Yeah, I think Winston and Hazard are definitely like Kellen's two of his strongest characters. So I think this meta we should definitely be like really fine as like actually we could just put Lenny on Tracer, and Seeker's been doing really good in Freya in scrims at least. So I think this meta is really, really good for us.
And what's if we look big picture for all of stage 2, obviously a bit easier to qualify for the LAN this time as well, 3 spots plus a last chance qualifier. What are these sort of expectations or goals for the team in terms of what are you aiming for in this stage?
Honestly, I think as a team we want to try harder than we did last stage, which honestly didn't really seem like we really tried all that hard last stage, and we still got top 2. So I think we're gonna actually be doing VOD reviews. I know, crazy, shocking, but yeah, we're actually like doing VOD reviews, scrimming more. So I think definitely a top 2 again, at least, is where we're trying to aim and look for.
With these extra qualification spots as well, is it still stage 1 felt kind of like a 3-horse race in North America? Do you think it's still true now, even with Zera jumping from one team to the other?
Honestly, I think it's more of I think it's 4. I think the new old Nightmare, like those, like the new and the old, and then Liquid and SSG, I think those are definitely like the 4 strongest teams, like far and away the strongest. And then the other 4 teams are kind of just like little mice just fighting at the bottom. So yeah, it's just definitely 4 because the Rad team got a lot better, I think.
Yeah, you mean it's confusing.
Well, the new Nightmare,
the painkiller team.
The painkiller, yeah.
Yeah. Hard to keep track of all. Everyone's changing names. And then I want to give you a chance, obviously, as we go into stage 2, anything you'd want to say to the fans?
the fans. I just want to say thank you for supporting us, and we will be a lot better than last stage. Although last stage was pretty good already, we will be a lot better than last stage, and just keep watching us and supporting us.
All right, thank you very much, Cjay. Appreciate your time, and best of luck for the weekend.
All right, thank you so much.